found out during a cozy potluck that my husband would choose his deceased wife over our family if given the chance. Theo and I have been married 8 years. He was widowed before me. His first wife, Anya, passed away 3 years before he met me. I have always made room for her in our home. I kept a photo of her on the bookshelf. I cooked her birthday recipe every November. When our daughter Margot was born, we named her middle name after Anya's grandmother because Theo wanted that. When our son Beck was born 5 years later, I sent flowers to Anya's parents along with the announcement. I thought we had built something whole on top of what he had lost. His parents host a potluck every October. This year, his late wife's family came too, which was new. Anya's mother, Helena, Anya's father, Anya's older sister, Lorelai. Theo had not told me they were invited. He greeted them at the door and held Helena for a long time. He sat between Helena and Lorelai at dinner. Margot, who is 6, brought him a drawing she had made of him as a knight. He said, "Sweetheart, in a minute, I'm catching up." She stood beside the table with her drawing for almost 10 minutes before I took her hand and led her away. After dessert, Helena clinked her glass. She thanked everyone for coming. Then she said, "We also want to thank Theo for finally agreeing to move forward on the trust restructure. It means the world to us to know Anya's wishes will be honored." Everyone clapped. I clapped too because I had no idea what she was talking about, and I did not want to make a scene. I watched Theo across the table. He did not look at me. Lorelai caught my eye and gave me a small, apologetic smile that told me she had assumed I already knew. Beck, who is 1, fell asleep on my shoulder. I drove the kids home alone because Theo wanted to stay later. When the children were in bed, I went into his office. I had never gone through his desk in 8 years of marriage. I started in the bottom drawer. There was a file labeled estate. Inside was the will he had drawn up the year before we got married and had never updated. The primary beneficiary was Helena. The secondary was Lorelai. Margot and Beck were not in the document at all. I was listed only as a current spouse, entitled to whatever assets the law required, and nothing more. The house was held in a revocable trust whose trustee was Helena. His life insurance, 2 policies totaling $900,000, named Helena and Lorelai as the sole beneficiaries. His retirement accounts had Anya's name on them with a note in Theo's handwriting from 2019, transfer to Helena upon death per A's wishes. There was a folder of monthly bank statements showing automatic transfers of $2,000 from our joint savings to Helena's account, going back the entire time we had been married. $2,000 a month for 8 years. There was a letter at the bottom of the drawer. It was dated 9 weeks ago and addressed to Anya. It said, "I'm sorry I had to build another life. None of it is what we planned. I missed the version of me that was only yours. Helena is helping me with the property in Vermont. When the time is right, I will go there. I'll wait for you the rest of the way from somewhere that still feels like us." There was a printout under the letter, a deed transfer in progress, a cabin in Vermont, currently owned by Helena and Anya's father, being transferred into Theo's sole name. There were emails between him and Helena about timelines, school years, when Margot would be old enough for him to leave without it damaging her. There was a calendar entry for the spring after Margot's 7th birthday with the single word, ready. I sat at his desk for an hour without moving. Then I made a copy of every page on the printer in the corner. I put everything back exactly where I found it. He came home at 1 a.m. He kissed my forehead and got into bed. The next morning, I called the lawyer my sister had used for her divorce. By the end of the week, I had pulled Margot and Beck out of school in our district. I rented an apartment 2 towns over and packed in 2 days while he was at a work conference. I left the photograph of Anya on the bookshelf because it had never been mine to take down. He noticed we were gone the following Tuesday afternoon. He called 16 times that evening. I picked up once. I said, "Helena can have you. You already gave her everything else." Then I hung up and blocked the number.